What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'm going to be doing today is we're just going to be doing some roasted beets. Very simple recipe. Really all that we have is I have 2 large beets that I have. These were fresh. I went ahead and peeled off the outside of it. I have about 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. Some of them are pretty small, so really hard to tell how much total that's going to be in like tablespoons or anything like that. We're going to be using some salt as seasoning, some oregano, some pepper, and then some basil. I think that these seasonings are going to go well with these beets because you're going to kind of get the natural sweetness of the beets to go along with the herbaceousness of these seasonings. We're also going to be adding some onions. These are just little tiny onions. I have some red ones, white ones, and yellow ones, so we're going to be adding those as well. So might as well move this stuff out of the way and get knocking this out. Like I said, can't get much simpler than this recipe. What I'm going to decide to do with these beets is we're just going to go ahead, we're just going to kind of cut them into chunks. You could cut them into slices if you'd like. And when I'm done cutting them in chunks, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to throw them in a dish. And the reason I have them in a dish is we're also going to be using some olive oil in this recipe. And I'm going to mix that and then we're going to pour that over our beets. As far as these little onions go, they're pretty much the same exact thing as large onions. They're just a little bit smaller. So since they're small, I do kind of want to leave them a little bit larger. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just go ahead and roast these in half. So I'm going to take the peel off, throw them in with our beets, and I'm probably going to add about 6 or 7 of these. As far as the garlic goes, I'm just going to put kind of a rough chop on this garlic. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all that I have here. I'm going to give it a good smash. Rough chop. We're going to go ahead and add these in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting up these beets, a few more of these onions, and then I'll meet you back when we start preparing these seasonings. So we're going to go ahead and get our olive oil on top of this. And this is really a recipe that you just throw together. There's really no specific amount. I just added what I thought was going to be good. Add whatever you like as well. I'm going to go ahead and add our oregano. And oregano can be kind of strong, so I went a little lighter on that. Hit it with a little basil. And I do actually think that the dried herbs are going to go a little bit better in this, because I think if you go with the fresh ones, sometimes they'll start curling up and looking a little abnormal. So use what you want. That's my method behind going with the dried ones. Plus, I didn't want to go out and buy some more herbs on top of it. Alright, that's our pepper. Now we're going to hit it with our salt. Now I'm just going to get in with my hands. Like I said, I'll be staying up for a little bit. That's my oven coming up to temperature. What I'm going to do is once I get this all combined, it's going to go in the oven at 375 degrees for at least an hour, maybe a little bit longer. These were in the oven for about 45 minutes. I had some foil over the top of them. They're still not quite as tender as I'm looking for. What I'm going to do is just kind of mix them up real quick, and we're going to throw them back in the oven. But we're going to leave the foil off of them. And I'm going to let them go for about another 30 minutes or so. Now here's what these beets look like after being in there another 30 minutes without the foil on top. You could tell that you're starting to get a little caramelization on the top of these beets. I'm gonna let this cool down just a little bit, then I'm gonna plate it up and we'll go ahead and taste them and see what we think. So I must say that for beets, these things look really good. Let's get in, see what we think about the flavor on these. Those herbs balance out the natural sweetness of these beets. Let me get into these onions and stuff. Grab a little onion, a little beet. This right here is a winner. Now, if you happen to want to make this recipe, one suggestion I'm going to make is add more onions. Those onions, man, I'm telling you, they really bring out the flavor of these beets. As a matter of fact, I might go with about 3 times more onions than I had in this. But I'm an onion fan, so maybe double that. But this is an excellent recipe right here. Anyway, give it a try. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.